Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Friday morning. And what a lovely, lovely Friday morning it is indeed. Fabulous performance from Arsenal last night, just when they needed it, just when we needed them to show us a little bit of a message, send us a bit of a message, show us some fight, show us some desire, and they did that in abundance last night with a superb 4-0 win against Slavia Prague to set up a semi-final clash in the Europa League against Unai Emery and Villarreal. I'll get to that in a little bit, but just on last night, got to talk about that performance, how good it was, and how nice it was to see. First of all, actually quickly, just apologies for my live stream last night after the game, the player ratings. I had to cut it very, very short because Mikel Arteta arrived for his press conference, so I had to quickly shut it down to make sure I didn't miss any of the Zoom press conference that Mikel was doing from over in Prague. So apologies for that. I will go through my player ratings at the end of this video because they were very, very short last night, so I'll go over them a little bit more, and if you didn't catch them, then you can find them at the end of this video. But first of all, on the win, what a win. 4-0, 3-0 up in under half an hour, 3 goals in 6 brilliant minutes in the first half to calm any nerves. Could have been 4 as well, Smith Rowe having that goal disallowed by the tiniest of margins, still at 0-0. I thought the way they responded to that goal being ruled out as well was really, really impressive, because there could have been a moment like, oh no, is it going to be one of those nights? But they just sucked it up, went down and scored a couple of minutes later, and then from then on just absolutely destroyed Slavia Prague, who, you have to remember, had not been beaten at home in any competition for well over a year. Arsenal made them look very, very ordinary last night, but they're not an ordinary side. They're a decent side. You know, they've beaten Leicester, beaten Rangers, done very, very well against some of the top teams in Europe in the Champions League in the last few years. But last night they were comfortably beaten by an Arsenal side who were bang on it, possibly their best performance of the season, I think, given the circumstances, certainly, and what was at stake for Arsenal. I think it definitely was their best performance of the season. Really impressive stuff. Mikel, as you can imagine, absolutely delighted by what he saw. He said, we came to a tough place. This team hasn't lost at home in almost 2 years. To do what we did tonight is credit to the players and how they approached the game and how brave they were in our approach. Then I think when we demanded the efficiency, today is an example of the level of efficiency you need to win matches away from home in Europe like this. Arsenal are absolutely ruthless throughout last night. In front of goal, defence just didn't give Slavia a sniff, and whenever they got an opportunity, they pretty much took them all away, and a few misses in that one. Very efficient in front of goal, as Mikel talks about. There's so many good performances on the night. Lacazette, Pepe, Smith Rowe, Saka. I thought the centre-backs were very, very good in whatever they had to do. The 2 fullbacks as well, obviously Chambers and Xhaka, again, not exactly out-and-out fullbacks. The way they performed, really solid. Just a fantastic, fantastic team performance. And Arsenal, of course, now will be up against that man, Unai Emery, in the semi-final. The Europa League's most successful manager, the manager who took Arsenal to the final of the Europa League just 2 years ago, now stands in the way of them repeating the trick, facing either Roma or Manchester United in the final. It's certainly not going to be easy. We know all about Unai Emery in this competition. We know he knows how to win it. He's got a decent side in Villarreal, scoring goals. Moreno absolutely bang on it this season. It's going to be a really, really difficult side. A really difficult tie for Arsenal, make no mistake about it. Unai Emery obviously going to be desperate to get one over his former club and to send a message to those, including me, who doubted him. And yeah, it's the narrative's all there, isn't it? It doesn't need much selling this game. It's a really, really big one. Mikel, speaking about it afterwards, says it'll be a really tough game. Villarreal are a tough side. Unai Emery is the most successful manager in this competition. We're going to enjoy tonight, and we know we're going to have time to prepare for that one. It's certainly going to be a real key one for Mikel Arteta. That obviously the whole, as I said, the narrative between Unai Emery, Mikel Arteta is going to be there. It's going to be written about. It's going to be discussed. Whoever comes out on top, it's going to be a big moment for them. For Unai, it would certainly send a message to all those people who doubted him over his Arsenal raid. And for Arteta, if he gets to win, then it's going to, people will be saying, well, Arsenal made the right choice after all. Personally, for me, look, whatever happens, Unai, I've said it before, he had to go. That was it was done and dusted for him and Arsenal. The relationship had totally broken down. There was no relationship, and he had to go. But no one's doubting him as a manager. His record speaks for itself. The fact that he's most successful manager in this competition speaks for itself. So it's going to be a really, really difficult game for Arsenal. But I think at the start of the season, if you said you've had to play Villarreal in the semi-final of the Europa League to get yourselves a final spot, that you'd have taken that all day long and bitten the hands off. So let's see what Arsenal can do now. Obviously, got some good recent memories against playing Villarreal in Europe. Beat them in the semi-final of the Champions League in 2006, and also beat them in the quarter-final of the Champions League not too long after that as well. Right, let's talk about some players, shall we, from last night's game. I thought Nicolas Pepe absolutely outstanding. I gave Pepe my man of the match. Started the ball rolling with his goal, set up the fourth goal for Lacazette. Just a really good, exciting performance from Pepe over on the left. He looks so much better for me on the left. Whenever he plays there, he seems to make things happen. Just looks really comfortable on the left-hand side. I thought he put in a real shift last night. Obviously scored the goal last week as well in the first leg. So had a massive impact on Arsenal getting through to the semi-final, and he deserves an awful lot of credit. Nicolas Pepe had plenty of critics since he's arrived, and I think we can all say he hasn't quite hit the heights we were expecting. I think the price tag has obviously played a huge part in that, and I know it's always unfair to constantly talk about a price tag, but I think the fact it was so high makes it impossible not to talk about, and that's how Pepe is judged, really. Not so much on his performances, it's more on, has he lived up to a £72 million player? I think the answer to that is probably no. Well, it is no. But I don't think you can really, when you look at his stats, you look at his numbers, he's had a big impact since he's arrived at Arsenal. I think now he's had 33 goal involvement since the start of last season. Only Lacazette and Aubameyang have had more than that. He's now up to 10 goals for this season as well. He's quietly got up to 10 goals. I mean, that's an impressive number there for Pepe. 10 goals and 5 assists he's on now for this season. He scored 8 last season, so he's already topped that in terms of goals. Scored 5 in the Europa League. Arsenal's top scorer in that competition, so he's having a big impact this season, quietly perhaps, because I don't think many people have really discussed it. So I think I thought he was brilliant last night. I really did. I thought it was exactly what you want to see from Pepe. Really caused Slavia problems all day long, and most importantly, his end product was there with the goal. When he could have easily slashed at that, he got to go up mid-nervous. He showed really good composure, waited, waited for the keeper to go down, and then finished it really nicely. And then for his assist for Lacazette as well, great run down the left, perfect pick out to Lacazette, who obviously did the job from there. So really good performance from Nicolas Pepe, deserves an awful lot of credit. He's going to make it. He's making himself really difficult to drop now. Obviously, you've got the whole Martinelli thing as well. Suddenly, Arsenal looking really dangerous down that left-hand side with those two players. Martinelli scoring against Sheffield United, Pepe scoring last night and getting the assist. It's going to be a difficult decision for Mikel Arteta to make when it comes to picking his team, and that's before you even consider Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who we will get to in a second in this video. So really, fair play to Nicolas Pepe. Thought he was great last night. Deserves an awful lot of credit. And another man who deserves an awful lot of credit, which goes without saying at the moment, is Alexandre Lacazette. Real captain's performance from Lacazette. Another 2 goals for him. He's up to 17 for the season now. I think it's 7 in his last 7 in all competitions. He's really leading from the front. In the absence of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he's taken on the mantle of scoring the goals. He's doing that. He's Arsenal's top goal scorer this season. Again, people will say, is he playing for a new contract? To be honest, I don't care at the moment. I just want him to score goals, and he's doing that. And Arsenal are looking a much better side of him playing as a central striker. I thought he was great last night. Took his goals up really well. Took the penalty well, and it was a big penalty that must have been a few nerves there. And then he took the goal at the end really well. And he's just leading the line excellently. So fair play to Lacazette on that one. But I think the most important thing, almost what he did, there's obviously been a big talking point, is that message he sent out before the game when he took the knee right in front of the Slavia Prague players, staring them in the eye. Really powerful message that's gone all across the world, given what happened to Glenn Kamara and Slavia Prague, and the player being banned for 10 games for racism, and let's face it, really pitiful reaction from Slavia Prague to that, in defending the player and not taking any real action against him. And Arsenal made a point of discussing it before the game. They wanted to do something, and they wanted to show a message. Mikel spoke about it. He said they came to me, the players, and they wanted to take that initiative. We spoke with the club to make sure they could follow the rules of UEFA, and we can do it the right way. We decided to take that approach, which I really liked from the players. I must say that UEFA was supportive as well. The captain came to me and asked me to do that, and I supported them like the club did. Really powerful message from Alexandre Lacazette. The photos, we've all seen it. images on the TV. We've all seen it. And yeah, it was a really powerful message from Lacazette, and he followed that up with that fantastic captain's performance as well. So really proud night for Lacazette. I think Arsenal fans across the world can be proud of the stance they took, of the actions they took, and they can certainly be proud of the performance as well. It's a big night for Arsenal's standing captain. And then from the standing captain to the actual captain, big news about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang breaking just before the game. Obviously, Arsenal have been saying he's had the flu recently. That's why he's missed the Sheffield United game. But then just before kickoff, Aubameyang took to social media to explain the real reason for his absence. He's had malaria. He's been in hospital this week for a couple of days. He is home now, but he's been in hospital getting treated. And yeah, really, really scary time, I'm sure, for Aubameyang, for his family as well, and for Arsenal. With it, because we all know what malaria can do. He picked it up while he was on international duty, which means, that was a few weeks ago. He said he hasn't been feeling right for the last couple of weeks, and then he went to get it really sort of checked out before the Sheffield United game, and after a few tests, the doctor discovered what was going on. Arsenal's doctor, Gary O'Driscoll, discovered what was going on, and then Arsenal, rushed into taking action. Aubameyang went off to hospital, got the treatment that he needed, and hopefully now he can be back as sooner rather than later. But the thing with malaria is something that kind of can hang around. I'm no expert on it, but I think it can hang around. It can sort of come back, if anything. So it's a bit of a worry that, but hopefully he will be okay, and we can soon see Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang back on a pitch as soon as possible. Whether he gets back into the Arsenal team, that's up for debate. Personally, now I don't see how he gets back in this Arsenal team, because he can't drop Lacazette, and you certainly can't play Auba over on the left-hand side when you've got Martinelli and Aubameyang and Pepe playing the way they are. It'd be an absolute monumental error from Mikel Arteta to do that. So I think if once Auba does get himself back fit and available, then he's going to have to make do with a place on the bench at the moment, and try and be a bit of an impact player when he comes on. I mean, what an impact player that is to have. And he showed last week when he came on in the first leg, when he set up Nicolas Pepe's goal, that he can have an impact. The fact that he did that all while, let's face it, suffering from malaria makes it even more impressive. And this is what Mikel Arteta had to say about Aubameyang after last night's game. He said he's at home, he's fine, he's completely fine at the moment. He had 2 days in hospital to get the right treatment, but he's feeling good now. When he wasn't involved against Sheffield 2 days before, he wasn't feeling good, but nobody could expect that malaria was the case. The doctors took some more tests, and that's when it came out. The doctor realised very quickly what had to be done, and they did a great job. He's safe and he's feeling good. When asked, how long till Aubameyang potentially comes back and is available, Mikel said, we'll have to see how he recovers. I think he'll need a few days to recover from that. He wants to be back as soon as possible. That's what he said to me. I think we're all kind of up in the air about this because we don't really know how long it can take to come back from malaria. Hopefully it's not going to be a long type of layoff, and that he comes back pretty quickly, he gets himself back to full fitness pretty quickly. But I think it's going to be a case of just wait and see what happens with Auba, really. Fortunately, as I've been saying earlier in this video, that Alexandre Lacazette has certainly stepped up and filled the void left by Aubameyang, and Arsenal scoring goals in his absence, which when you look back to last season, they found it impossible to do that. It was Auba's goals or nothing pretty much, but now they're scoring goals without him. They've scored 3 goals in their last 4 away games in all competitions, I think, in each of their last 4 away games, I think, which is that's quite some stat. So they're not finding goals too hard to come by. You've got Martinelli scoring again, you've got Pepe scoring, you've got Lacazette scoring, Saka scoring. So yeah, Arsenal are looking in decent shape even without Aubameyang, which you certainly couldn't have said that last season. So that is a good sign. Okay, before I go, let's quickly talk about player ratings, shall we? I'll go through these. Like I said, I did try and do this video yesterday. I had to cut it very, very short because of Mikel turning up for his press conference. So I'll go through them again. I'm going to give Bernd Leno a 6 just because he had barely anything to do. I don't think he had a save to make. I haven't actually checked the stats on that one, but I'm not sure he's had a save. I can't really recall him making a save. He had to deal with a few crosses which came out and punched. So I'm going to give Bernd Leno a 6. I'm going to give all the back 4 a 7. Maybe a little bit unfair on certainly Chambers. Maybe Xhaka deserved more as well. I mean, I'd probably give Chambers a 7. They didn't have to do much defensively. There was a very comfortable night's work, and Chambers did get an assist for Saka's goal. So maybe Chambers should get an 8, but I did give him a 7 last night, so I can't really change it. So I'm going to give all the back 4 a 7. I thought Holding and Murray again, when they play together, they just look like a really, really solid, good partnership. I've told you many times how much I rate Pablo Mari. I think he's fantastic centre-back. Every time he's in the team, I just think Arsenal look better. They look calm. It's a real decision for Mikel over Mari or Gabriel in that left-sided centre-back role. I really like Mari. I thought those two were really good against yesterday, so I'm going to give them a 7. Chambers and Xhaka, I'm going to give a 7. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh, and they deserve a little bit better than that. As always, you tell me what you thought about when it comes to ratings. Thomas Partey, I thought, was excellent. He topped the charts for Arsenal in terms of tackles, interceptions, blocks. Just an absolute wall in front of the back four. Didn't give Slavia a sniff in midfield. Really good performance from Thomas Partey. Add into that performance against Sheffield United, which will do him the world of good, because obviously he got a lot of criticism for his performance in the first leg against Slavia Prague. He's responded very well since that with 2 really good, solid performances, and that will do his confidence the world of good. So Thomas Partey gets an 8. Ceballos, I thought, was impressive. He gets a 7 for me. Did a lot of good things in that central midfield. And then we get to the forwards. All the scores are good here. Bukayo Saka gets an 8. Goal for Saka, got fouled for the penalty as well. He gets an 8. Smith Rowe, I thought, was excellent, especially in that first half. Slavia Prague just couldn't handle him in that number 10 position. Unlucky not to score with a goal that was ruled out. Then he's superb to set up Pepe for the first goal, so he gets an 8 for me. Nicolas Pepe, my man of the match, he gets a 9. Goal and an assist for Pepe, just ran the show for me. So many good things down that left hand side from Pepe, so he gets a 9, and Lacazette 9 as well. 2 goals for Laka, just playing really well at the moment. Obviously some subs came on and the game was done and dusted by them. Martinelli, so unlucky not to score a fabulous goal. Just didn't have that finish when he ran in down the left hand side. Beat his man, absolutely roasted him. Unfortunately just missed the finish, but again, showing what he can do when he comes on. But just, I'm not going to give him a rating as those subs, because it was all done and dusted way before they come on the pitch. Good to see Balogun get a few minutes at the end. I think that's certainly confirmation again that his contract talks are all done and dusted, and he will be staying for Arsenal. The only reason he hasn't been playing, we haven't been seeing him more in matchday squads, is because those contract talks have been going on. Now they're done and dusted, and that announcement will come soon. He has signed a new contract. He gets on the pitch last night, and that will he'll be very happy with that, albeit it was only for a couple of minutes. Okay, everyone, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. I will be at the Emirates on Sunday, Arsenal versus Fulham in the Premier League. Not too much time for Arsenal to prepare for that one, but hopefully they'll be going there riding a bit of a crest of the wave. Have plenty of confidence that they can go there and get another 3 points. So watch out for all the build-up to that one. Thank you for watching, everyone. Enjoy this morning, that lovely feeling, that warm feeling we all have after a nice, comfortable Arsenal win. And keep checking my socials for all the latest Arsenal news, and of course goal.com for all your Arsenal breaking stories and features. Speak to you very soon, everyone. Have a good weekend.